A rock album?
A rock album, yeah. It was Dolly's Guilt album, it seems.
Really?
Well, yeah, because she was given a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nomination.
Right.
In 2022, she basically said, there's a quote from her, "Even though I'm extremely flattered and grateful to be nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I don't feel that I've earned that, and I really do not want votes to be split, so I must respectfully bow out." So she
Really?
declined.
Why? Do you know any reasons apart from what she said?
Well, I think because she doesn't see herself as a
Rock and roll
artist, which she's not.
Yeah. She's a country artist, yeah.
Well, she basically sums it up that she thought maybe that votes for her as a kind of novelty might diminish the other artists and, you know, people that she probably knows that are in the business. I mean, I think she just felt kind of, why? Why me? And, you know, cynics might say that it's probably because the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame has run out of big names to put in. So they're just throwing other names in because they can kind of relate it to rock and roll. I mean, other than Dolly, Johnny Cash is in the Hall of Fame, and Hank Williams.
Yeah, but I feel like now, I think it's a bit strange that she did that because the rock and roll seems like such a big term now. Like, rock, yeah, is one thing, but rock and roll just means fucking all this shit, including country and everything. Like,
Really? Is that?
yeah, I think so. These days, like the Hard Rock Cafe, you're gonna hear some Dolly Parton in the Hard Rock Cafe. It's not hard rock. Rock and roll is just a term for like 50s onwards guitar bands. Really,
yeah, but I don't think that's how it was thought of when they decided to build this museum and make this award show and ceremony. They basically inducted all the classic rock and roll heads from the day. They didn't induct country heads, and it's been constantly putting more and more rock and roll heads in there ever since that. And yeah, every now and then put, I suppose, outliers like rap artists in. Recently, they put a couple of country artists in, and pop artists. Is it because they kind of run out of rock and roll people to put in that were big enough to make this be a big show to put on to a TV station for people to tune in? All the big ones are in there already. A lot of them have been in there like once, twice, in some cases 3 times inducted.
What?
Yeah.
How could they be inducted 3 times? This makes
well,
sense.
I mean, so
once they're in the Hall of Fame, surely they're in the hall. I mean,
that's what you'd think, but like,
you can't have another Beatles join them in the Beatles in the same hall.
What they do is they put the Beatles in as the Beatles, and then they put John Lennon in on his own, Paul McCartney in on his own. One of the only people that's been in there 3 times is our friend Clapp. He was in there for the Yardbirds.
Right.
He's in there for Creem.
Of course.
And he's in there for his solo career as well.
Yeah, I mean, okay. I can see how they get away with that.
So obviously they're running out of fucking ideas.
I just thought it would mean music people, really. But now I'm looking through the fucking Hall of Fame and everyone, and it's all classic rock. I mean, most of it.
Most of it's classic rock.
In 1996, the Jackson 5 were inducted. In 1997, Parliament. Oh, they're going funk.
There's some outliers. But there's already a Country Music Hall of Fame. They've had that for years before the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was built as a kind of like, oh, we should do our own one.
Ah, yeah. And of course, she'll know that as well. So
she'll already be in there.
She's been around the block, that's the thing.
So what I'm saying as like a kind of guilt thing is like, she said, I do hope that they'll consider me again if ever I'm worthy. And this has inspired me to put out a hopefully great rock and roll album at some point in the future. So then they've obviously got back in contact with her and said, no, it's not really about rock and roll. Think of it as like you're a great songwriter, great entertainer. And
we've run out of rock and roll artists.
Yeah. And don't worry, Pat Benatar will get in as well. You're not going to split the vote. All the people that you're scared of knocking out because you're a bigger star, we'll put them in as well.
We'll put like Eminem in there soon, so nothing matters after that. It's fine.
He might be in there already.
Oh, I can check. I mean,
but they're putting lots of pop. I mean, Whitney Houston's in there. I mean, she's not rock and roll.
She ain't rock and roll. Talking Heads are in there. Are they rock and roll? I suppose they nod. The Police, they rock and roll. Prince, R.E.M.
Of course, Blondie are in there.
Of course they are. Metallica, of course they are. Yeah. And
but anyway, so
Beastie Boys. Sorry, I'm just scrolling.
So eventually she went, oh, okay, if you really want me. And
Public Enemy, no way. Sorry, carry on.
Boy George.
Continue. Lou Reed only made it in 2015. Jesus. Sorry, do go on.
So she does it, and she goes to the Hall of Fame and accepts the award and tells everyone, I'm going to make a rock and roll album, guys.
Oh.
And
okay.
she basically just went around, everyone that was inducted that night, she just, like Simon Le Bon, Pat Benatar, Sheryl Crow, she just said, do you want to be on the album? And they were like, yeah, why not?
Yeah. And Debbie Harry, of course.
And Debbie Harry, of course. But when she turned up to accept the award, she wrote a song especially for it to perform on the night. Like, most people would play their biggest rock hit or a couple of them, whatever. But she wrote like an apology or like a job application and performed it in kind of 80s hair metal gear. And
yeah.
It's just like, I've been rocking since the day I was born. I'll be rocking till the day I'm gone. I've still got rock and roll down in my country soul, and I'll be rocking it till the cows come home. It's just fucking so ridiculously lame, but it's like, it's just making a fool out of the whole thing. It's just amazing.
Oh, just stick rock in there as much as possible.
Yeah, name checking Elvis, Jerry Lee, Chuck Berry, Little Richard. They cast a spell on me. Carl Perkins on his blue suede shoes.
Just taking it literally when they were like saying, we don't take it literally anymore, so you're in it. And it's like, okay, I'll do a thank you one, taking it literally. She's a strange one sometimes.
She's funny.
Dolly. She is funny. And she's got this humbleness thing going on. I've got to be humble. I will make sure I'm humble in every kind of exchange that can possibly happen. I have to be the humble one. Otherwise, even though she's like a world-dominating princess who wants to dominate and does dominate and has fucking Dolly World, and she's super powerful, she wants to seem really humble.
Yeah.
It's her sort of working class roots, I guess.
And she'll always remind you of those.
Exactly, yeah. That's a big selling point.
Yeah, she's a different kind of nouveau riche.
She is. Yeah.
She throws it in your face with like, having a theme park and like, wearing lots of expensive clothes. But the way she speaks, is like, I want to talk about, where I came from and the Smoky Mountains and all that.
I wouldn't like to say that about this, about Trump, about this, about that. She's
pretty apolitical.
Yeah. I don't know if this was in the last one, but I was listening about Dolly World. They changed the name of this amazing theme restaurant, which is North versus South.
Yeah. When you got into the restaurant, you kind of chose which side you wanted to be on, and then people were obviously getting into the spirit of things, having a few drinks, and just going fucking. I'd imagine like some people would go a bit too far. They'd probably say some shit and shout some shit that because they do like a reenactment and like
they do. Yeah.
You're meant to dress in a certain way to be on either of the sides.
Yeah, blue or beige.
It's amazing. Yeah. It's such an amazing idea. But you can see how it's like,
You can see how, like, in the last 8 years or so, that this has become something untenable. So they've changed it to, like, fluffy dogs and sheep or something. I don't know what it is. But
angels and pixies.
There's no blue there, and there's no beige anywhere. And it's just two kind of nice, different kind of apolitical things, like a unicorn and a sphinx. Hey, cool. It's probably not a sphinx. That's probably
cheer for
like
the sphinx.
Fascistic. Yeah, and hearing her squirm around that was really funny.
She does not want to put a foot wrong. She doesn't want to offend anyone ever.
No, she's just a cute little country girl from a working class background doing some songs. That's all she is.
Yeah, but she puts herself in this position of fairy godmother. In lots of her films, she's like an angel, someone that's given advice, like a sage or a kind of like a wise being. I watched one her recent Christmas movie, because she's done loads of Christmas movies that she's self-produced. It was called Magic Mountain Christmas, and she basically plays herself in Dollywood. So basically she's selling Dollywood with the film. She's like, come to Dollywood. And it's basically the Christmas Carol. So she's meant to be the Scrooge character. But
bad casting.
In no way does she ever do anything mean. But she gets visited by the ghost of Christmas past, who is, have a guess.
Johnny Cash.
Willie Nelson, very close. I mean, she's got all the aspects of the story, but she could have been like a diva that runs this theme park.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would be too close to home.
Yeah, she could have been an arsehole, and she could have been visited by these people, and she could have learnt some lessons. But no, she never puts a foot wrong in the movie. She's like this sage, wise presence.
She's totally fucking misunderstood the whole point of the fucking
story
story then. Like, someone should be saying, you can be the fairy godmother. Like, you can be one of the angels coming down, like Christmas past or whatever. You can't be Scrooge. Scrooge is not something we want to associate with the Dolly Parton brand.
Exactly.
Can you not do this?
She's so brand sensitive. So she's showing off Dollywood. She talks about other films that she's done, name checks the film. So you're like, oh, right, well, I can go and watch that one next. She talks about her imagination library, one that gave you the book.
Imaginarium. Dolly's Imaginarium.
It's basically a propaganda film for the Dolly cult.
Yeah. You just chose the wrong fucking Christmas Carol.
Yeah, she got the wrong Christmas story.
Yeah. The wrong Christmas story, which is the Christmas Carol. Yeah, I mean, we were like bigging up Dolly in the last episode, and that was good because she deserves bigging up. But also, she deserves to be taken down a few pegs as well.
Hey, there's a few pegs to lose.
A few pegs to just sort of like, loosen up a bit.
Just to loosen, just twist, but not really pull out.
Yeah. So maybe maybe the ladder will break one day. It's not us doing it.
No, I mean, she's built such a foundation for the brand that I don't think it'll ever break. I think she's.
Oh no, it won't.
It's completely. It's rock tight.
It's rock tight. I mean, yeah, country tight. Where were we? Like, okay, we're talking about Dolly and her reasoning for making this album, the rock album, where she decided to do a duet with Debbie Harry.
And why?
Yeah.
Yeah, why? The only thing I can think of is the classic rock is just so sausage heavy. She thought, I've got to have women on it as well. I can't just be singing with men. So she tries to kind of...
what else is on it? I haven't heard the album, actually.
Well, oh God, there's like 30 tracks on this album. 9 originals, 21 covers, 7 singles, 5 were covers. She did a Queen medley, We Are the Champions, We Will Rock You. She did Let It Be with Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr. Got Steven Tyler on there. She couldn't get Mick Jagger on there. Oh, Elton John's on there, of course.
Of course.
Doing our favourite, Don't Let the Sun Go Down.
Okay, ooh, interesting. Simon Le Bon's on there.
Simon Le Bon's on there.
Which tune do they do? Duran Duran aren't exactly rock and roll, are they?
No, My Blue Tears. Oh, it was a song by Parton herself she did with Simon Le Bon. But he was just at the ceremony that she was at.
Yeah. All of you can be on my album. And me as well? Yeah.
John Fogerty's on there. Sting, of course. You've got to do Every Breath You Take.
Yeah.
Tammy did it, didn't she? She did it on her one.
Yeah.
Steve Perry. Linda Perry. So, What's Up? That was one of the singles. Stevie Nicks, of course. You've got to get Stevie Nicks on there. But I think she was struggling with the female part of it. She ended up getting Miley Cyrus on there, like her goddaughter.
Yeah, but they didn't do this song, Heart of Glass, because Debbie Harry did that with
Debbie Harry did it, yeah.
But obviously you've heard the Miley Cyrus Heart of Glass version.
Well, yeah, if you type Heart of Glass into YouTube, that's what comes up first.
Yeah, I know. It's only like a live recording or something, but it's pretty massive.
Yeah.
And it's a good version.
Were you thinking that might be the reason she did it?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe like, Miley's done that song, oh cool. And she's probably not that cued in with the new wave scene. But then, I'd like to do that song, but who did that originally? Oh, it's Debbie Harry. It's a woman, yes. What? She's like the same age as me? No fucking way.
Ticks boxes,
who is this woman? tick the boxes.
This has got to be our highest combined age.
Really?
155 is the combined age of these two. And yeah, I
Wow.
didn't know Debbie's slightly older than Dolly, which shocked me.
Yeah, who knew that? It's shocking, totally. Because in the 80s on those programs, Dolly seems like a sort of motherly figure, whereas you're thinking like Debbie Harry must be early 20s when she's doing Blondie shit and Parallel Lines, but no, she must be more like 30s.
Yeah.
So she picks Debbie Harry and they do this song. There's so many versions of this song.
Is there?
Do you know how many covers there are? Just from one website that I checked. Guess. Released covers.
I don't know. 100?
Yeah. 92. Yeah. Can you name 10 of them?
No.
Can you name 5?
To be honest, before I looked into it, I can't remember anyone doing a cover of it.
Before looking into it, I knew 1, 2, 3, maybe 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Who are those?
I knew Miley Cyrus. I knew Gisele and Bob Sinclar. That's really good, that one. And yeah, I'm probably lying. That's about it. But when I looked into it, though, yeah, there's the Phillip Glass and the mashup, yeah, with Phillip Glass and Debbie Harry.
Oh, right.
The Crabtree remix is really dark and weird and cool. But I could tell you a few other people who've done it. The Shadows.
Yo,
79.
wow. That's going to sound good.
Yeah, you think so. You'd think so. I was like, cool, I cannot wait to listen to this.
Do they do the arpeggio on guitar?
The start of it, you mean? Like the little drum machine kind of thing. They do, and that starts well. And then I think the mistake they make is that and guitar bit doesn't fit with Shadows. That just doesn't work for them.
The syncopated.
A bit rocky and syncopated and just too robotic for the Shadows. And then, like, fucking, I don't know what fucking Hank Marvin's on when he's doing
Generally?
But like, generally he's on something good. But he's got some shit stuff. And he's like, he's like, no, man, do your fucking thing. You should be go, Dwang, 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 dwang,
dwang, yeah.
Dwang, 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 dwang. And that'd be perfect Shadows cover. That's what you expect. But instead he's trying to sort of jagged himself up. And it's
he hasn't got like distortion on his guitar, has he?
Not really, no. He just plays it too rocky or too sort of jagged. He's not good with jagged. He's flowy. But what they do well is like they add a country bit into the chorus, like. Oh,
nice.
That's very nice. But by then the whole spell is kind of dashed.
Yeah.
He didn't just do what he should have done, which would have been great.
Oh,
so that's a shame, that one. The Associates one, that's really good.
Oh, the Associates from the late 70s.
Yeah, they do one in like 81 or something, and that's really, really great. Chet Atkins, I vaguely think I know who that is.
He's a country picker, yeah. He produced a lot of Dolly, actually, I think early on.
Really? Oh, right. Maybe he put her onto it as well.
I think it was probably Miley. Because that was
sure it was Miley.
That was like a year or two before, and she probably thought, "Oh, that's cool."
Yeah. It's really cool when Miley does it. Like, it's an amazing song because it does lend itself really well to rock, and it lends itself really well to disco and techno too. The actual original is that's what they were doing. They got a drum machine, a CR78 Roland, and they laid that down, and then they used the trigger pulse.
Was it Mike Chapman that brought that in because he was the producer?
No, he's the producer. The other guys that were in Blondie bought that, and they were fiddling around with it. But Mike Chapman made them obey it, and actually put it in.
Well, he was like a kind of chunks guy, wasn't he? He'd record stuff in chunks. You'd do it over and over and like as robotic as possible, and then he'd piece the track together.
Yeah, but there was no sort of looping or anything. There was no on this song.
No.
We recorded that, so we'll just put
but there
it
was
there.
in sections.
They had to record. Yeah, in sections. They would like record in sections to get it right. And like Mike Chapman sort of talks about it like fuck me, this band was shite. Like when I fucking got hold of them, and I really had to whack them into shape.
Apparently, when he saw them, he was laughing out loud, just like, this is the most ridiculous band. But then he thought, that's kind of what I've been doing all my life. I've been producing ridiculous bands, all the glam bands. He produced all those fucking amazing sweet songs like Ballroom Blitz and Little Willy and all this.
Oh wow, yeah,
great
really.
singles in the 70s. Every single one was fucking killer. So
Yeah.
he saw pop potential in this punk new wave band, and he thought, oh no, we can push these guys,
But he also had a song when he first visited them in the hotel room at 3 a.m. He had this song he was going to say, and I think we should do this one. But after he'd spoken to them, and they played him the early version of this song, which was called something else.
It's called Once I Had a Love, or the disco song.
Yeah, and it's a bit slower, more funky. And they had that from early on. When he heard that and stuff, he felt too embarrassed, and also they had too much integrity for him to suggest anything. So he did start humbly, because he sort of warmed them up and like, we can do your songs. But once he got them in the studio,
He buttered them up. He buttered them up. He said, these are great songs.
And then he fucking hammered them in the studio. Made a lot of them really pissed off.
Especially the drummer.
Yeah, I bet, yeah.
Well, yeah, because Clem Burke is he's fucking hilarious, this guy.
He thinks he's Keith Moon or something. That's what Mike Chapman says, yeah.
Exactly. I think he thought he was the star of the band, he was the most expressive member of the band musically. So that was Mike Chapman's hardest work, was rein him in and say, no, you have to just do it like this.
So he had to sort of brutalise him and punish him, which he did for this song by making him do the kick drum for the whole song, get it right. And it took hours and hours. Just the kick drum? No, you can't play drums. Just do the kick drum. Then we'll do the snare after that, yeah? And now you got to put it on the other beat, yeah? The whole song? Yeah, the whole song. and then, okay, so they punched in, oh, no, that one was wrong. The last minute was good, but now we have to punch in from there. Carry on. And they were just punching in. Oh, what a pain in the ass. But, so they used the CR78 Roland drum machine to send trigger pulse to the synths, this was a new thing, sending voltage. So the beats are sort of activating the synth kind of thing. Okay. And with the guitarist as well, dun 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 dun. Yeah, it took him fucking ages to do all this shit, and it pissed them off. But it sounds really good.
But then it was buried on the second half of the album. It was released in September '78, but it didn't come out as a single till January. '79.
Yeah,
it was the fourth single. So the company were a bit like, ooh, don't know.
Yeah, because of all the disco suck stuff was big, burning the disco records on a football field, racist-ish kind of stuff.
Jimmy Destry, the keyboardist, said that he was walking through the crowd in CBGB's to go and do a gig after the Parallel Lines had come out, but before Heart of Glass had come out as a single. And there was people booing them and shouting, your disco record sucks! And it's like, well, there's only one disco song on that record. It's just one song, but that obviously made an impact. People that were Blondie fans or fans of the CBGB's punk scene or whatever, what the fuck's that? Shit.
Yeah. In New York or whatever, there was gangs of disco people, blacks, obviously, and then gangs of rock people, and they would pass the disco people and go, why would you want to go there? Into that club? This is that? What the fuck? And the same vice versa. But yeah, then they did I Feel Love in '78 live on the Blitz benefit in CBGB's, and it kind of probably caused all this furore that you're talking about. It's like a purring motor car, a design classic like the Eames chair. It's like a sleek, perfectly formed motor car, the pinnacle of a certain era of engineering, combined with the aesthetic poise of a puma, or a conger eel, or a reef shark. Like a glistening Corvette, a fusion of cutting-edge chemistry, left-field engineering, forward-thinking design, and artistic panache that aspires to planetary metasphysicality. Yeah. lots of journalists talk like this about certain tunes. They talk about it with I Feel Love, and they talk about it with this one. And they're not the blueprint of these tunes, but they're the ultimate refinement, supposedly.
It's smeared and aloof and floats above everything else. Like you say, like those songs that just do kind of float above the normal grottiness, but it's unlovable.
It's slightly unlovable, yeah. But it is about this love that's not real. The lyrics are like, it was a gas, effervescent, you know. Half glass smashes into thousands of pieces, like the song is made of thousands of these little pieces put together. Everything's in between. And she was just like, oh, it's just kind of like as an impression of love that wasn't good. I don't really remember too much about what I was thinking when I made the lyrics. Probably didn't think too much. A bit like Supersonic by Oasis, like he just wrote it in the toilet. Doesn't really mean too much. But it does have these lyrics in it, glass, gas, like it's all kind of ties into the whole vibe of the whole song, which is this pure music thing, which is the sort of like birth of techno, basically.
It's not full of sound effects or anything, is it? It is just kind of grinding. Like techno is full of big sound effects that kind of just go across stuff and envelop it and stuff. Yeah. This is quite light.
Yeah,
and
it sort of doesn't have enough of sound effects.
Yeah, it should have more sound effects. More sound effects, please.
It does have that sort of kind of Kraftwerky.
But that's the main drive of the song, so you can't really call it an effect when it's the main drive of the song.
True. Like, okay, it's the rhythmic part, yeah. She still sings wonderfully over it, and I can appreciate her voice and singing as wonderful objectively, definitely. But just, it's quite nasal, Debbie Harry's voice.
But the first verse in this version is sung by Dolly, and it's so much more expressive, her delivery. Yeah. She hasn't aped Debbie in any way.
No, she's aped Miley.
Right, is that how Miley does it?
She's gone Miley, totally, yeah, because Miley... Miley's aping Liam Gallagher, I think, and then Dolly's doing that, yeah. And it also seems like Dolly's voice is like doubled, tripled, like full of like chorus. Sure. It's made really big.
Yeah.
And then it's very difficult to hear which is Debbie and which is Dolly.
It is a bit.
You can. I think they basically have a verse each.
Yeah, Dolly does the first, then Debbie does one, then they meet for the chorus, then they do one line each for the third verse. But then the la-di-da-la-la-la-la bit was just like, it's just shit in both fucking songs. I hate it. It's such a yawn.
Oh man, come on! Like I can't totally go with you on this.
Oh, come on.
Okay, I'll tell you why. Well, not really why, but so on the bus, I listened to the Gisele Bob Sinclar version, and I was like, "That's funky," because it should be techno. It's pushing towards techno.
It lends itself,
it lends itself, and they do it, and it's really great. And they kind of get rid of a lot of the. It's just like bum bum ba dum bum 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 ba dum bum ba bum bum ba dum bum bum ba bum 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 ba dum bum. It's really cool, and I was just like totally grooving, lost in the dazzle of it, and I was kind of. I'd been watching Blondie videos and thinking how Debbie Harry is really sexy, and I literally realised that I was in the song or that I was Debbie Harry or something. And I looked in the mirror as I was bopping, and I realised I was expecting to see like what did I see? I saw some guy with a weird ski bandana kind of thing on and another ill-fitting hat on top of it and a really grimy green coat with a beard that wasn't cool. It was just a beard. It was not trimmed in any good way, and like some bad big trousers. I was like, oh God.
So it's worked. It's taken you to another place.
Yeah, and I was expecting to see literally Blondie when I looked in the mirror. I realised that, and I was like, that's something special. That song can make me think that I'm part of a song and a person at the same time. It brought so many things in, like, God, I look like shit. And God, how I totally live in my own brain and never do anything about it in terms of my outward appearance.
It's cheaper.
But also how good that is that a song can do that, and this song did that.
You're riding high on love's true bluish light.
Yeah. Okay, so back to this version. There's not much to say about their vibing together because there's no video. We can't see how they're working together.
No, the whole album was mostly recorded Dolly doing it herself, and then other people just phoned stuff in. But apparently Debbie was there with her. So they were looking in each other's eyes, but there's not any magic in the performance, and
not that you can hear really.
I mean, maybe because it is that kind of song where you really wouldn't get that put across in the recording anyway.
Yeah,
she does one with John Fogerty, and like it's with a band in the room, and they did it all as a performance at the same time. So you might get a bit of that there, but you're not going to get it in this song, really, are you? Because this song is constructed the way it is. It's constructed piece by piece.
Exactly. But also, like the last song that we did, Up Above My Head, I hear music in the air. It goes up, it goes down, there's an answer and a question, and things build. And the whole point of this song is it doesn't build at all. It starts and it's there, and it finishes at the same place.
It's a groove.
It's a groove. And from the first verse, you know what the rest is going to be like.
Yeah, they just didn't try to do anything with it. All.
No. It really surprised me, actually. I listened to quite a few of these cover versions, and no one's trying to do anything with it.
Yeah, it's almost like there's too much reverence for it, isn't there?
Even Hank fucking Marvin's like, I better be regimented. Oh, like fucking, you're fucking Hank Marvin, man.
Yeah,
like fucking go for it. Do what you like. Fucking hell. I read Harry's newer biography. I feel like it took about 2 hours because it was full of fucking nothing, really.
Full of air.
Full of air. Just full of air, yeah.
And it's lovely air.
It's nice air, but it's still air. And I've got nothing against air. I breathe air. I like breathing air. I have to breathe air, but like, I also like breathing in narcotics, so... But there wasn't any of that.
I don't think she takes herself... she doesn't see herself as a great artist, so she doesn't kind of go into depth when she writes about stuff or when she's interviewed.
Yes, that's correct. She doesn't write very deeply.
She doesn't see herself as a great artist. She's probably a little bit, not embarrassed, but like just a bit more reserved. And she's also not like super switched on entertainment person like Dolly Parton. Like
she is a kind of embodiment of this song, or this song is an embodiment of her, which is sort of interesting because it's sort of like what's really there. Like try to get the meat.
The word gas it kind of sums her up.
It's perfect.
Like, glass and gas. Yeah. Glass and gas is really her, isn't it?
It really is her.
You can imagine if the gas dispels, she might turn to glass. She might be quite harsh and quite...
And that would smash. You'd step on it and you'd get various different cuts, but it's not like someone punched you in the face.
I don't know if she was pushed into the role of being like sex goddess. She obviously liked it herself.
She liked it.
Yeah, but there was also like push from her boyfriend, Chris Stein, I think, at the time.
In the band.
Yeah, he used her looks as a way to get a record deal, and she was like...
She was game.
Yeah, she was game. And I think in that scene, that was another thing that, wasn't just the disco thing that made people go, the punk scene. There was also her glamour. You know how, like, music scenes are a bit precious, aren't they? They're a bit like, even though we're trying to be a free, liberal kind of music scene, there's still rules.
What do you mean specifically?
Well, just using sex as a selling point, I suppose, for a punk band. You wouldn't see Patti Smith do that.
True.
They realised that they were not being taken seriously for their music. It used to be like little fanzines and stuff like that. And it would never kind of say anything about their music, but it would always say something about Debbie. Because she's so striking, she's so beautiful. Let's just go the Debbie route. And her and Chris sent photos to Punk magazine, which is like a kind of fanzine. Then Creem, which is a rock magazine. There was Playboy Playmate pastiche called the Creem Dreem. And they sent her into that, and she got put in that. And Dolly was also in that. A couple of years later, she was a Creem Dream as well. So they've got that in common.
Okay, so I was listening to this thing about Phil Spector Blood on the Tracks, Phil Spector version. It's kind of ridiculous. It has interviews. Then it has just all this sound effects underneath it, quotes from Spector, but with a voice morphed down a few pitches, like duh, 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 duh. They keep popping them in. It's like super ridiculous. But they had Deborah Harry talking about Phil Spector. And she's just talking, but it's like a performance, and it goes so well with all the sound effects. Telling us horrific stuff, like Phil Spector had a Colt 45 sort of rubbing up against her leg. They played the Whiskey a Go-Go. Phil Spector appeared like a sort of vampire, said, "Come back to my place, I want to record you." They come back to his house, he's in a dressing gown with nothing on apart from a Colt 45 and a big bottle of whiskey or whatever. And they're like scared. And she's just talking about like what it feels like to be sort of raped by a gun by this guy. It's a horrifying story. Phil Spector is a horrifying man, it seems. But she doesn't seem emotionally like, and God, oh, this fucking happened. It was awful. Like, she's just sort of saying it in this kind of like movie way. She sort of says everything in this 50s movie way. She's kind of like Grace Kelly or something. I don't know. She has that 50s.
Well, she said that she used Scream Goddesses as an inspiration for her look and like an inspiration for her
whole way of being.
Yeah, being on stage. Like she thought, I want to be like a Marilyn Monroe, but put that on stage. And she thought that was like a new way of doing things.
Well, I think that is really cool. And I think that she did do that. You know, I think that is cool.
She did an autobiography in 82 called The Making of Blondie. It has a little bit about her being young, but like mostly about the band. The first chapter is entitled I Was Marilyn Monroe's Kid. And she felt like, because she was adopted, she had this kind of connection to Marilyn Monroe, especially when she found out later that Marilyn Monroe was adopted as well. And she used to fantasize about Marilyn Monroe being her mother. By knowing that she was also adopted, it became more a spiritual thing, like a cosmic idea that like these strange people that haven't got like their direct family histories and whatever appear to look like each other, and they want to be the same thing. And so maybe some of her aloofness is from, you know, not kind of being completely sure about who she is.
Absolutely. I mean, it feeds perfectly into what we're saying about that sort of lack of total connection, you know, real embodied, direct communication.
And she said that Chris used to say that he thought she was an alien. Her alien race kind of just dropped her here. But that's kind of a perfect kind of role model, is someone in a movie, I suppose. Like, whereas if you look at Dolly Parton, there's a quote of her saying, all country girls have an idea what glamour is, and a lot of them get it through magazines and movies. But we didn't get any movies. We never saw movies. So she was inspired by the town tramp, because that was the most glamorous person she saw. It's two sides of the same coin, I suppose.
Yeah.
You know, the glamour of the movies and the glamour of the prostitute.
Yeah.
We're talking about other versions of Heart of Glass.
I was, yes.
I did hear another version of Heart of Glass from 1993, and it's with Debbie Harry involved. Pre-Blondie comeback, she released a solo album called Debravation.
Deborah.
And she dropped into GMTV, and she did an acoustic version of Heart of Glass. And this is when you realise that this is not a classic song. Or it's not that kind of classic song where you can
of course
do
it's
it
not.
acoustic.
I mean, we know that, yeah.
So this is just like...
You couldn't do I Feel Love acoustically either. I mean,
exactly. But they tried to do it.
What the fuck?
But luckily, she was upstaged in Shitness by Eamon Holmes, who was the presenter on GMTV at the time.
Yeah.
He's got that softly, touchy approach.
Yeah.
They have this clip of Heart of
I
Glass,
hate him.
and then they cut back from the clip to him standing above, looking down at her, sitting on a musician's stool, like awkwardly with his hands in his pockets. And he says softly, in a whisper, "Oh, you don't know how much that brings me back to my youth, I tell you." It's creepy as fuck. And there's like this awkward pause, and she looks up at him like, oh, good, yeah. And then he realises that this is creepy, and he pulls his hands out of his pockets and gives her like a matey shoulder pat. Grips her shoulder.
I'm not a Jimmy Savile. Let me just tell you.
He says, you were a sex bomb then, and you're a damned attractive woman today, I have to say.
Oh.
The studio giggle like, ooh, and she goes, thank you. Then he says like, you're going unplugged for us this morning, aren't you, Deborah? And she says, yes, we are. And then he has like this kind of pistol finger resting on his cheek like an L.
Oh, yeah, I know it.
In a low voice, he goes, everybody does that these days, don't they? And they play it, and it's like open mic at Eamon's Tavern. It's so bad.
Really?
She's fluffing lines and looks nervous.
So where's the music coming from? Is it a backing track or what?
No, an acoustic guitarist. He's playing
Some
all
guy
the music.
is playing the whole of Heart of Glass. Like
Yeah, exactly.
What the fuck?
And the eternal la la la's.
Oh,
It gets to the point where she's so embarrassed that she looks across and she goes, is that it? Have we had our 2 minutes?
and the guitarist carries on.
There must have been someone in the background going like, doing that wind it up finger. And then Penny Smith, who's the other host, is like, oh, it's very hard in the morning to get your voice warmed up. I know what it's like.
God, no, just to rub it in.
Yeah. But then the best bit is like Eamon says, thank you, Debbie, thank you, everyone, blah, blah, blah. And then he does this amazing like alpha comment to the guitarist. He goes, Pete, some lovely stuff there on guitar. And then he does a guitar action. Like he knows how to play guitar. It's amazing.
But anyway, so should we wrap this shit up?
There's loads more to say about Dolly, but we're going to get to that because I think last count was like 38 in The Matrix. Now I'm up to about 55. So she's like so far ahead of everyone. She's for our cause,
And she's great at it.
She's an ambassador for Circle Zucchero, really.
Yeah, I'm noting that.
What a great brand to tie yourself to,
Yeah.
If she could promote us, fucking hell, imagine.
Yeah, or promote her. She might need some synergy, to be fair.
Tell her that she's the queen of the duet sphere, and she might, she might give us some of that Bezos award. Jeff Bezos gives out this courage and civility, an award every year of $100 million to someone that he thinks will spend it. I mean, he says no strings attached, but he's only going to
He
get.
should give it to us so we can get this fucking shit off the ground. I spend a whole week researching.
Yeah, we wouldn't have to have a delay on our connection. We could get some kind of hyper connection.
Some hyper connection.
We could live in the same place. We could live together. Do it across the table.
We could, because they just pay for you to live next.
We could do it from Dollywood.
House. Yeah.
She could be the patron of duets.
Or move to Dollywood. My kids would love that. Your kids would love it.
They'd all come.
And they would just house us in this weird gingerbread house. And we'd all live together.
It'd be great.
It's so great.
Perfect.
Yeah, you and me would think it would be great.
Start a duet recognition charity or something, and we could be the heads.
Daddy's doing great things, spreading duets around the world, and we have to go with what he wants because he's providing for us. He's providing, and which I will.
Finally, we can be the providers.
Providing for the family, and they just have to follow the big man.
So goodbye, Dolly, and we'll see Dolly again, definitely.
And goodbye, no, not goodbye, Harry.
Daddy. Not goodbye, Daddy.
Daddy.
Daddy, are you going to Dollywood? Mummy said you're going to Dollywood. Daddy.